Evening, Cherries fans, and welcome to this latest show here on Up the Cherries in all departments. It is a free for all show, so please do get involved. And the link will be scrolling down at the bottom in a moment as well. Of course, I have my number two with me, Matt. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, buddy. Are you all good?
Yeah, all good, all good. And yeah, hopefully feel free everybody to get involved. You don't need to be a Bournemouth fan, you can be a Spurs fan. So yeah, just get involved and yeah, hopefully fingers crossed we'll be speaking to you, a couple of you. But just before we do all that, just so everybody can get into the room, here's a bit about our sponsors, Dental on the Banks. Can do for you, visit dentalonthebanks.co.uk. So we do have 7 people watching at the moment. So please do share this video with everyone. So of course, one thing that I was saying, Matt, before the game yesterday was, and I'll hold my hands up to this, is Kiefer Moore. I said, I don't think we play to his style. I don't think, he is the quality that we require in this division. Um, yeah, I was wrong, wasn't I?
Yeah, to be fair on yesterday's performance, yeah. Kiefer more gives you different that different option. You know, he's a totally different striker to a striker like Solanke, or if you compare him to
Hmm.
another striker, I mean, I don't know, like a Jermaine Defoe type striker. He's completely different to those kind of players, and he will give you more options. I mean, to be fair to the guy, I mean, a couple of times yesterday, I thought defensively from corners he was superb as well. So he gives you a bit of everything. Um, and I mean, sometimes you're right. Sometimes it looks like we don't play to his strengths, but he was put into the team starting yesterday for a reason.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, he was heavily part of Gary O'Neill's plans to beat Tottenham yesterday, and that's why he started. Um, yeah, to be fair, I'd like to see him start maybe a little bit more sometimes. I mean, against Leeds, I think I would obviously score 2 goals yesterday, so really you've got to start him, haven't you? But I mean,
Yeah.
against a side like Leeds, I'd like to see him start for definite, because I think he could cause Leeds a lot of problems. Um, but yeah, it's just a shame we didn't get the result we wanted.
Well, exactly. The game started really well, and I think if we had played like that against West Ham, or if we played like that against Southampton, we would have got something, which is the frustrating part of it. Of course, Spurs are on a lot higher level, really, in terms of what they can spend, their current squad as well. Of course, you've got Harry and Son up front, and we largely kept them quiet.
Um, Yeah, it's disappointing thing is with yesterday's performance. I thought in the first half, if you were watching as a neutral, you'd think Bournemouth were in the top six. But yeah, in terms of Kane and Song, there was one defensive clearance that Mepham did. It looked like Kane was going to. This is when they were shooting towards the Ted McDougall.
Yeah,
Looked like Kane was going to get on the end of it all day, and Mepham fantastically got rid of the ball. So yeah, it was, he did himself pretty well yesterday. Actually, Mepham, I thought, and he's come on a lot lately.
yeah,
So yeah, it was good to keep someone the likes of Kane quiet. I thought he had to play a little bit deeper for him yesterday as well. So he had to kind of get himself involved in the game a little bit deeper.
yes, yeah.
And to keep players of those caliber quiet was a good shout, but obviously result disappointing.
Yeah, definitely. What we'll do is we'll do some shout outs in a second. First of them is Chris Hubble. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Um, let's get on our first guest then, and it's a familiar face in Max. How you doing, Max?
How you? You good? How's you?
Yeah, all good, all good. You've got one of those green
Yeah,
screens, haven't you?
yeah, I have.
Going up in the world, mate. Going up in the world.
Yeah.
No, it's impressive. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll just get some of these other comments up on the screen. Evening, James. How you hope you're well, mate. Martin. Evening, Craig and Matt. Evening, Martin. Hope you're well, mate. Facebook user. Do you know what? This is always this is always a mystery when somebody puts it on Facebook. Unless we actually go on there, it just comes up with a blank profile. So last 30 minutes, we just let Tottenham put all the pressure on us. You cannot let a team of that caliber have possession of the ball in our half. Kiefer Moore definitely man of the match and gave something to think about to the haters. 2-0 up. We should have not just sat back and let us take the pressure. We should have carried on and given another ball into the box to get Kiefer's hat trick.
Very good point.
Yeah, I can't
All
disagree
of
with.
that statement you can't really disagree with.
No, I think the only thing I would say, oh,
Oh,
we know who that is. That comment is mine on Facebook, boys. There we go. Yeah, Sam's just very, very busy at the moment with work, so yeah, he's taking the evening off. But yeah, to be honest, you can't disagree what Sam's put there.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm surprised he's written something like that. To be honest, that's quite intelligent for him. But I think he's blagging that.
Yeah. Although saying that, when I read that back, because I was sat next to Sam at the ground yesterday, I should have picked up on bits of that anyway. I thought, oh, is that Sam? But didn't. Would you say there's many Kiefer Moore haters?
Um, I I'd be surprised if there was. And if there is, then obviously he's shut him up yesterday. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there was many people that disliked him as a player.
No, completely agree. Martin Burridge has took till the last 20 minutes for me to realise Son was playing. To be honest, I think we largely kept him quiet. I think he's such a good player. If we remember back, was it the third season in the Premier League? We come up against Harry and Son, and how should we put this nicely? They tore us a new one, didn't they? We got beat 4-1. But then the following year, we kept them quiet. Mark Travers had that fantastic game, and we won it 1-0. So, what did
Yeah,
you?
our last couple of results at home against Tottenham had Been fairly. I mean, we got the draw. I believe, if I remember rightly, the season we went down.
In lockdown it was.
Yeah, during lockdown, which at the time seemed to be a very important point. And then we beat Imaki, scored a header, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
92nd minute. They had 2 men sent off.
Yeah, because if I remember rightly, Mark Travers, obviously it was his debut, and in front of the cameras, and made a couple of worldy saves, didn't he? So the last couple of games against Tottenham at home had been pretty decent.
Yeah, completely agree
So
with
was the
that.
first half yesterday.
Well, yeah, definitely. Noel is in the room as well. Big ups man as well. So, the question now though is this is our third defeat on the bounce, and it happens at this level, doesn't it? Really, where you can lose a number of games on the trot and then have a decent run of form. Like, to be fair, after that Liverpool game until Southampton, we had, a decent run of form. We was picking up points every single match, which is great. We should have really won at Fulham. Um, Now we've got 3 on the trot. How does Gary O'Neill change this, or do you think it's a case that it might be that Bill Foley might be thinking, well, once this is all complete, get another man in? Because I'm right behind Gary O'Neill having the job, but it's now, to be honest, even when we was on that good run of form, we had people on Twitter, and I never understand them, going on about how Gary O'Neill shouldn't get the job. The man's winning games, the man's getting points every game. If we had carried on the poor run of form after Scott Parker, we would be bottom, and a very bad bottom at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question regarding what does he do now to turn things around, I think he's got to kind of continue to just do probably what he's been doing, really. I mean, the Southampton game, obviously in comparison to other performances, wasn't great. It's a funny one. I mean, he's got to carry on at the moment. The thing is, he's got no pressure on him, has he? The job, he's still doing it on a caretaker basis. So really, the pressure, he's probably feeling pressure now because he's had 3 defeats in a row. But he's got to just get the confidence in the guys, and that's kind of what he did. I mean, he's not really, improved. It's difficult to improve a player, but confidence breeds everything in football, doesn't it? Really, and he took over from that 9-0 defeat we had, and breathed confidence straight through the squad. So, I mean, I think in terms of the American ownership, only they know what they're going to do. And they might have their own target. They might have their own man they want to bring in. I mean, we're not going to know. It's for me. I'm behind Gary O'Neill. I think he's done well to come in and stabilize the squad and get the results he has done. Considering he's he'd be classed as a rookie manager, wouldn't he? It's for me. I personally think the Americans might have their own man up their sleeve.
Yeah.
But I just hope Gary can get something out the next 2 games to keep the focus on him. I think if we can get 4 points out the next 2 games, which is a big ask, then I think he's still in with a shout.
Yeah. Of course, we've got Leeds next, and Mainly because I met up with Brian Baxter. I watched this from the pub, this Leeds game. There you go.
Wonder why that was.
Yes. Yeah, whenever Brian's about, I always end up the pub with him. But they were brilliant against Liverpool.
Yeah, I only saw snippets of it last night, but what I did see, they seem to play quite well, and they got a fantastic 3 points.
Yeah.
Massive 3 points to go to Anfield and get anything is for Leeds, or any side in around that part of the table is massive. Yeah, so they're going to be buzzing next week with us going up there. It'll be a totally different game to last night.
Yeah.
But they're going to be buzzing. They're going to be at home. They're going to have the home crowd behind them, and they're going to have a good win behind them. So it's going to be a very, very tricky place to go next week.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, with Spurs, and like Chris said there, he's hoping that we could hold on. When you go into a 2-0 lead, it's half expected that you should close that game out. And do you think that's poor man management, or do you think it's just the strength that Spurs possess that just shone through?
Yeah, if you take the first half, for example, obviously we looked the better side. We were keeping the ball, passing the ball around the pitch well. We were looking at getting goals. The second half, we get that second goal, and you're thinking then, against a side like Spurs, you've got to get the third goal.
Yeah.
And the difference is yes, they made 6 changes to their squad yesterday. I know that they obviously got Champions League coming up, but they've always got that option on the bench that can just change games. And the substitutes they made yesterday, changed the game for them. Whereas we don't necessarily have that caliber of player on the bench as what they do. So difficult one. I mean, when you're at home, you're 2-0 up. You would expect. I mean, no matter what game you're playing or who you're playing against, or whether you're home or away, to be fair, you're 2-0 up. You expect you're expecting to win the game. Thing is you can't shut up shop and against sides like Spurs, because they will get back in the game. And for the second goal, I think really cost us. I thought the marking at the time was poor. Travs has come for a ball and not really probably either made the right decision or it's a difficult one. I mean, it's like if you compare, I mean, the only thing, I mean, Travs is a fantastic keeper. Like I said, after we got defeated, that he would probably be dropped due to confidence. Only, not an ability. But since Neto's come in, you can really see how Neto commands the area. And if a ball's put into the box from a corner or from a cross, if Neto's made the decision to go for the ball, 9 out of 10 times he will either punch it or catch it. Yesterday, Travs has come for this ball, and the marking just that was just a poor goal to give away. I think when you're winning the match. So that really cost us. And after that, you could just see with the pressure they were putting on us that there was every chance they were going to nick a winner. And unfortunately, obviously, they did, as we know now, which is extremely disappointing from being in a 2-0 winning position.
Lucas Moura, and I'll fire this over to Max. Lucas Moura come on at half time and changed the game. What did you make of him firstly, and how do you think he fitted in with that Spurs squad?
Yeah, as soon as he come on straight on at half time, I thought, right, this could be where it gets dangerous. Although before we went 2-0 up, I didn't think that, but I thought as soon as Conte's brung Lucas on, then it must be a tactical change, because obviously when I've been watching him in previous games, because how he plays next, I saw him on the bench, and that him and Son and Kane have got a good partnership up front, and I was like, as soon as he's come on, I think, oh, he could change the game, and he did yesterday from what I've seen, because I managed to get the game up, of course. But yeah, I mean, was he the one that assisted Sessegnol's goal? I saw it was a through ball straight down to I can't remember who assisted his goal. I think it was, I don't know if Lucas or not, but was it Lucas or not? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think now. It could well have been. He was making all the positive runs for Spurs, and I think he was getting in behind us, weren't he? Really, Matt?
Mm.
Yeah, I noticed with that,
Yeah.
because about the second goal, right, that we conceded from a corner, they were doing this 1-2-1-2 pass through our team, and that they got the corner, and then that's when we couldn't mark, and then it went 2-2. And the thing that the most annoying thing is, right, all three of their goals, right, are not their main goal scorers. We kept Kane quiet, we kept Son quiet, we kept Lucas quiet, but it was mainly the midfield and defence that scored their goals, not their attackers. It's quite annoying, really, and it's set piece as well. I mean, first there was a corner, obviously, and then the goal that gave them the win was another set piece as well. I forgot the guy that scored the winner, but he smashed it straight down the middle, blocked, and he got a rebound, and he just tapped it in. And Travers was like blinded, really, like it was like a wall of defence, but he couldn't see. He was just stood there with his arms open like that. Well, we can't see because I've got a green screen, obviously, but he's like that, and he was left hopeless. And I was like, "Oh, you're joking now? They haven't just won this. They haven't now. We were 2-0 up. They haven't just won this." And I was like, "Oh, they have won as well," because I was on a stream, right? I was behind, so I actually looked up on the actual flash score thing. I was like, I put my hands behind my head. I'm like, now we've just bottled a 2-0 lead. And I was like, as soon as we went 2-0 up, right, we've never gone 2-0 up against Spurs, I don't think. I was like, 2-0, I thought, yeah, we can win this. But I was on the phone to my mate at the time, as an Arsenal fan, he said, you need to at least get 3 goals against Spurs, because football's football, anything can happen, and especially against top 4 side. And he's like, I told you, you should have got that 3rd goal. I mean, did Kiefer Moore get subbed off, or did he play a full game? I think he played a full game, I think.
Yeah,
full game.
full game. Yeah, he was. I think Kiefer Moore has really shown what he can bring to the squad as well. I thought that he would be a player that, because of his height, when we're chasing the last 20 minutes, throw balls into the box, it's not the Bournemouth way of playing. But yesterday he did something that I hadn't seen before, and I think he was outstanding. He's fully deserved his man of the match. And do you think he's better when he's got a strike partner with him, so with Solanke, rather than just being on his own?
Him and Solanke have been good partnership up front, I think. Because when Solanke came off against West Ham, he had a couple of chances against West Ham, and they were working together well until he got come off injured and that. But as soon as Solanke was back and they were both playing, because normally you have Kiefer on the bench, don't you, and Solanke up front with Billing on the right, I think, or behind Solanke.
Yeah.
But normally Gary normally brings him on straight into the second half, because especially when we get them set pieces as well from like corners and that, bloke's got the height to head them the goals in, like he did yesterday. But yesterday was just a cross, it wasn't a set piece or anything, but it was a great header. And another thing I was going to mention as well, first goal, we caught them out in the counter attack. Nice ball from Solanke, flicked through to I keep forgetting, who did he flick it through to assist Kiefer? It was like he squared it to Kiefer Moore. I know Solanke.
I'm not sure actually. I'd have to watch it
think
back.
who it was. I think it was Tavernier.
Yeah, I think Tavernier played well yesterday.
Tavernier, yeah.
Yeah, Tavernier had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, it was Solanke flicked it to Tavernier. Tavernier went in down the wing, and it was I think Kiefer Moore. As soon as he squared it to Kiefer Moore knew where he was going to place it, right in the corner where Lloris can't get to it. He dived the right way, but he ain't getting a hand to it because the power and the placement he put in was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, hitting them out on the counter attack proves we can score against top teams. You know, I was looking at all the pundits and they were saying, "Yeah, we're going to get smashed." We didn't get smashed. We just got unlucky. And the only thing we can blame ourselves with was the marking for the second goal because that's what. Oh, sorry about that. Shouldn't have had that.
yeah, that's all right, mate. That's all right.
As soon as the second goal went in, I was like, you know what, they're just going to sit back now, and then we invited all the pressure onto us the last 20 minutes because they scored their goal in the 73rd minute. And I was like, this still 17 minutes is still a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, they're knocking on our door, and I knew there'd be a goal. And the worst thing is, it was a blooming rebound. Since we've never had rebounds. I mean, you know, it's got to move on from it. As much as it's really annoying, like to think you're going to get a result against a top 4 side, and then it just wasn't to be. But yeah, we move on from it. We learn from the mistake.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there will be coming up on the channel. There will be cherry picking this Thursday as well, so please do keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, we will be having our opposition preview show coming up as well for the Leeds game, and of course after that is 2 games against Everton, and then it's the World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, World Cup be finally here.
Yeah. Is that a good thing for us or a bad thing?
I think in terms of the injury to Neto,
Yeah.
I think that is going to be a plus side. The only thing is you know, when we do have like international breaks and things, sometimes we get a bit of rhythm going, and then once the rhythm's going, we have an international break, and then we come back and we don't always seem to pick up from where we left off. So it's gonna be an interesting one. I know some people comparing it to when we had the COVID break. That time, obviously, we come back and that didn't really help us, did it? But I'd like to think that after the break, that obviously we'll probably have a decision on who the manager's going to be. Obviously, we'll have someone like Neto back, hopefully between the sticks, which I think will be important. No disrespect to Travs. Travs is going to be a fantastic keeper. He really is one day. He's probably going to play for Ireland for a long time internationally as well. But I just think, when you've got someone like the caliber of Neto and, the way he commands his area, I think you could see that yesterday that was missed, especially for the equaliser. But yeah, it'd be an interesting period of time. I mean, how many players will we have go to the World Cup? We'll obviously have Mepham and
Mepham, Moore. I don't think there's many others really, which might actually work in our favour.
So a lot of the squad will still be together. Yeah.
You look at the likes of Man United, Man City, Liverpool. They're going to have a lot of players going. So Chelsea, of course, Chelsea are the first team we played after the World Cup. If their players have got particularly far in the competition, what sort of state are they going to be in? Jet lag and everything. Because how much time is there between, the end of the World Cup and that Chelsea game?
Is the World Cup December the 18th?
I'll have a
Something
look.
like that?
I'll have a look. What,
December
the
the
first
18th.
game. The first game we have.
No, the final.
The final.
Oh,
Because I
so
know-
our game against Everton's on the 12th in the Premier, and then the game against Chelsea in the Premier League is on the 27th of December.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know that, Max. But what we're saying is
Oh.
when is the World Cup final?
Oh, I'll have a look now.
Yeah.
Because I know now. Obviously, the game's been rescheduled for TV, hasn't it? So we have an
Yes.
extra day. So it's
Sunday the 18th of December.
Sunday the 18th.
9 days.
Yeah.
9 days effectively.
Oh, bloody hell, don't work.
Yeah, effectively, we have 9 days then.
Yeah.
From the World Cup final. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what effect it does have on the players.
Mhm.
So it will be effective. Effective. Will be interesting to see what effect it has. So obviously, this is a strange scenario for everybody, really. This World Cup being when it is. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yep, definitely. We're going to wind it up in the next couple of minutes, though. But just finally, we do have one other guest that has come on. Hello, James. You all right, mate?
Yeah.
What did you think of yesterday's game and Kiefer Moore's performance?
Yeah.
He was really, really good, wasn't he? And, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can, bounce back from this and a decent result against Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, mate. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It is a short one tonight. I know Sunday evenings are always a bit of a funny time, but yeah, thank you so much for popping on the show. And yeah, by all means, we'll be doing another one of these at some point, I'm sure. Probably with a little bit more notice as well. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, mate. And cheers, Max, for coming on. Pleasure to have you on the show again, and I'm sure you'll be back for the next one, won't you?
Oh, of course I will. Yeah, always am. Always will.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah.
And again, it's me and you, Matt. So we are going to be doing cherry picking. We are going to be thinking of a theme for this one, but it's going well, isn't it? The cherry picking shows, and we've had loads of good content on so far. Our best 11, our worst 11 as well, and namely quite a few appearances for Mr. Quinn on the worst one.
yeah, Mr. Quinn.
He's bloody useless, wasn't he? Yeah, and no, it's always quite interesting what other people have got to say about Jimmy Quinn as well, because nobody's ever turned around and said, "Oh, it's terrible," but so far. But we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it, and we want to validate that dog story at some point. Walking the dog, but yeah, no, it's good to have these free-for-alls happening again. I know it's short notice, so hopefully we will fill up the room for the next one. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us on this show. Until the next one, up the cherries, and I'll see you then. Thanks for joining us.